It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here each and every day on the LRN.FM network in Phoenix, Arizona, broadcasting out of the studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com. Now, on the air with me, we have CJ Czaia. Yeah, I did it. Yay. CJ Czaia is an attorney in Florida, and he's involved in Latino rights in the United States, and he's really passionate about, these people are not criminals. And I live here in Arizona. I have owned a restaurant. I have employed many Hispanics, of which many, I am sure, their documentation was not, would stand up to, counterfeiting, you know what I mean? So that had nothing, I didn't care. Seriously, I mean, you fill out an I-9 now, and it says, under penalty of perjury, you are attesting that this person has a right to work. And I'm like, the heck does that mean? Here, fog this mirror. You got a right to work. Okay? I mean, so that means nothing to me. Talk about what's illegal and legal and not. Am I allowed not to care? Well, a lot of people do. They're going, hey, man, America. And, the law is the law is the law. Well, okay, so change the law. Well, they don't want to change the law. It's not really about the law. It's about the immigrants. We don't want these people here because they... I don't know, fill in the blank. They're a drain on. They don't like them. They don't like their music. They don't like their color. They don't like, their granddaughters marrying them. I mean, whatever the heck it is, they got their reason. But what is the American ideal? Give us your tired, you're hungry, you're poor, huddled masses yearning to be free. That's not a welfare list that she's holding up, the Statue of Liberty. It's the Declaration of Independence. We were like, bring them on, bring them on, bring them on. The problem is that, in my estimation, there's no way for me to defend another human being living at the expense of another. Certainly by the government putting a gun to my head saying, I'm going to take from you and I'm going to redistribute to these guys over here because they need. Well, when this person over here claiming they need is here illegally, man, you just got another layer of they don't get access to my goodies. So whenever I talk to Hispanic advocacies of amnesty or changing the immigration laws or them just staying here or whatever, and I want to get into the DREAM Act and I want to get into birthright citizenship and that in a second, but I want you to understand my perspective. Whenever we have this discussion, if I was to ever have someone representing the Hispanic community, illegal people that are here now, if they were ever able to come up and say, you know what? We'll sign on to whatever. We get to be legal residents here, but we never, ever get access to any taxpayer-funded goodies. No public education, no health care, no get to go, drive, do what public life, whatever. I mean, we are the good Americans. We're not going to live at the expense of someone else. You know what you become then? You become heroes. You become an example. You become welcome. You become an example of how everybody else should orient themselves towards their fellow man that's being forced to pay for your goodies. So, but that never comes up. And I'm going, wow, and the reason a lot of people ask, they'll go, why is it that you have all of these government-funded free public education and so on that's going to illegals? And I'll tell you why. It is because our Constitution does not recognize citizenship. It recognizes people. Everybody will be treated equally under the law. So you're going, well, the problem isn't the Constitution. The problem is the welfare state. If you didn't have all this stuff making equally available to everybody, then they wouldn't be getting it. But nobody wants to address that. Nobody wants to address that. Yeah, of course everybody should be treated equally, but not equally getting access to my wallet. So, with that understanding, go ahead and help me out with what was it that the DREAM Act actually provided for? What were they going to do? What status were these people going to have? And were they going to get access to my wallet? CJ? Go ahead and call him back. We lost a connection. This is the point that I'm making. There is always this thing, this justification for we want to be just like every other welfare recipient. Oh, I don't want you to be like every welfare recipient. I don't want you to be a recipient. How about that? I vote that. So the DREAM Act, you got him, Sierra? What? Oh, they're getting him. The DREAM Act, what did it do? Did it provide for the individual to get access to the same stuff that I do? Or did it, make them a different class of citizen? Or do we have to change? So, CJ, go ahead and give me, I'm sorry we lost you, but go ahead and give me the provisions of the DREAM Act itself. What was it actually trying to do?
Well, the DREAM Act is to, basically the purpose of the DREAM Act, it's called the Development, Relief, and Education of Alien Minors Act, or DREAM Act. It was to help those people that came here, youngsters that came here, that if they would enlist in the military, go to college, they'd have a path to citizenship, which they wouldn't otherwise have. People think that there's all these avenues to get your papers, and you should do it. Well,
you go fight for the empire, then you get to be a citizen.
Right. You had to be. You had to enter it before you were 16 years of age. 15 or younger. You had to be in the United States at least 5 years prior to the enactment of the bill. You must have been a high school graduate or obtained a GED, and that you had to have been at least the ages between 12 and 35 at the time of the application. Of course, have good moral character. In other words, if you join the military or go to college, you would have a path that you could follow to get your residency, and then eventually your citizenship.
Now,
that's the whole idea.
Well, as I was, listening to this rhetoric, there was military, man. They were advocating for this. Yeah, we need some cannon fodder, man. Line the boys up.
Well, the 38,000. I want to remind a lot of the listeners that one of the first United States soldiers to die in Iraq was a guy by the name of Jose Gutierrez, who came here illegally, if I use that word for this purpose, from Guatemala. There are 38,000 U.S. servicemen that are not United States citizens. Many of those have family members who are undocumented residents of this state. I mean, not legal, if you would. I hate using that, but I'll use it for this conversation. So there are a lot of servicemen that have come here without papers or came here illegally, or they're related to people in that condition. So the military, if you think of France and the French Foreign Legion, they have mostly foreigners that after service they could get citizenship into France. I mean, it's not a new concept, but that's basically one of the ideas. It'd be a way of recruiting people for the military, or if they went to college. So
the opposition to this concept is just, oh no, it's just the nose of the camel in the tent. It's your foot in the door. We do this. It's just going to be a deluge of opening it up for people to get legal.
Well, they think they're going to have anchor babies, which is a misnomer.
Okay, now when we come back, we'll start talking about birthright citizenship and anchor babies. You guys stay right there here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, and CJ Czaia in just a little bit.